Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome to my channel, Cool Maniac here, and today we have a little bit of GTA 5. Now, today's video is not gonna be some missions, it's not gonna be me killing people or doing anything, it's gonna be a little show and tell of my cars. Keep in mind, this is a profile, well, an online profile that I no longer use because this one is from back in the days when I had a PS3, and of course I played it way to somewhere around last year on the PS4 and then got way too much cash on it, so I'm not playing this, I'm not playing this profile anymore. I have $1.7 billion in this account, and that's after I spend a lot of money buying everything, so I'm using a different account on while I'm playing GTA Online these days. Anyways, let's get into it. First car. Say hello to my Zentorno. Now this is the first ever supercar I bought in GTA Online. Well, as you see, I never changed it from the first day I bought it. I absolutely loved it because it looks like the Lamborghini Aventador, which is one of my favorite supercars in real life. Well, obviously I don't own one, but because I'm rich, but it's good to have in game. I put this game, put this color on way back when I bought it, and I've never changed it because it just looks good. Well, to me, anyways. Of course, I have the custom plate on it. Says the Zentorno. You gotta have that. Now, so moving on. This is, well, you know this. This is a new edition. This is the Tempesta car, which I bought recently. It's, of course, modeled after the Lamborghini Huracan and the Lamborghini Centenario, which had a limited release. I, of course, put a custom plate on it as well. It says Lambo because, well, that one says Huracan. We'll get to that one later. I chose to keep the original wheels on the Zentorno and on the Tempesta because they just look good. I wish Rockstar had an option where you can buy stock wheels, for $1,000 to $5,000, so you can just paint them the color you want. Because, well, I mean, the newer cars don't look good with the wheels that GTA offers. Anyways, this is, like I said, the Tempesta. I'm ashamed to say that this one has only seen road as far as the paint shop. Haven't driven it much. Okay, moving on to Ripper. Well, this car, a lot of people, didn't like because it didn't have a lot of customization options. It still doesn't have a lot of customization options, but I like it because, well, this car is obviously a mix of the Huracan and the Lykan Hypersport. Still, I call it my Lambo, and I named it the Huracan, as you can see over there, I think, at the license plate. Anyways, that's it with this car. Let's move on to my next Lambo. Now, this is of course the Infernus. It first appeared, I think, in GTA 4. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. I mean, this form of the Infernus anyways. Of course, it's not its first appearance in the GTA series at GTA 4. I did put a plate on it just, well, before I started recording this. I don't know why it's still running. Let me just check this out. Did I did it? Nope, it's still running. Okay, well, never mind. So I chose this green color because, well, it just looks okay on this car. Of course, real life. This is inspired from the Murcielago, the Lamborghini. And on the back it has the looks of the Pagani Zonda. Well, in my opinion anyways. Next off we have the newest edition. Well, this is just something that Rockstar released just a couple of days ago, I think, from when when this is recorded anyways. This is obviously the Lamborghini Diablo. Now, this car holds a special place in my heart. This is the first ever real-life supercar I saw. And, well, I was a little boy and this thing just grabbed my heart and never let go. This is one of the best looking Lambos, well, from the time. I believe when it first, when it was first released, it held the crown of fastest production car, doing over 320 kilometers an hour. Anyways, this is the exact color, believe it or not, that I first saw the Lamborghini Diablo in. So this is exactly the color I made it in, and obviously I'm not changing those original Diablo wheels because they look awesome on this car. And well, the only car from the Lambos over there. Well, I call them Lambos. They're obviously not Lambos, but the only car that has wheels changed is this one, and that's because it has it in the options. It has its original wheels. Is there an option you can actually choose? And let's turn this. Simeon, he's so annoying. Next car we have this, the Fister. I think it was called the Fister, wasn't it? No, actually, wait, is it? It is the Fister. Wow, great name, Rockstar Logic for you. Anyways, this is obviously inspired by the Porsche 988. I think the number was the hybrid car, the newest member of the Porsche super family. It is an awesome car in real life. I gotta say, awesome car in the game. Moving on to the next floor. Okay. Okay, moving on. Welcome to 1B. Well, this is the second floor of this garage, and well, we're gonna start off with the Nero Custom. Now, this is of course inspired, and it looks like the Bugatti Chiron, the next Bugatti in line to come out. Again, I just fitted a custom plate on it, and for some reason it's not off. Doesn't matter. I tried to make this car look as close as possible. I think I nailed. I think I did it to the car they presented at the vehicle show. Now, obviously, it is a pretty close look-alike to the Bugatti Chiron. On the front, it looks almost exactly like it. On the back, the lights slightly differ, but it's still a good-looking, good driving, handling car. Next to it, we have the normal non-upgraded version. This is, of course, the version that's upgraded at Benny's custom workshop. This is the version that isn't. The reason why I have, this one as well is because the non-upgraded version has a movable spoiler. The spoiler that moves. And, obviously, why wouldn't I have this? It's just so beautiful. I obviously, kept the original wheels because they look awesome on this car. And I went with this color because it just looks so good on this car. Anyways, these are the new Nero cars, or the Bugatti Chirons, whichever you prefer to call. Now, next we have the original, I guess you can call it Bugatti lookalike. Well, a Bugatti Veyron. Anyways, this is of course, the Adder. Now, I have the original wheels that came with it because they look good on the car, and let's face it, you cannot exactly choose them from the menus when you change wheels. So, I made it a simple red with a white pearlescent, and of course the secondary white, because it just looks good to me. And this is where it all started. By that I mean where all the really expensive cars started. This is of course the Osiris. This is the first ever car in GTA Online to cost way over $1 million. This was, of course, previously it was only the Adder costing at $1 million. After this car came out, every single supercar costs above $1 million. And it started with the Osiris. It is a great performing car. It is, of course, inspired, and it's a mix and match between a Ferrari at the front and a Pagani Hyara at the back. I love it. I love this car. I love this color on the car. It actually took me a while to get to where I like the color on the car. I didn't like previous versions that I put. I actually changed the color of this car quite a lot. Now, this is, of course, these are not, of course, the stock wheels on the car. I put those on there, but yeah, let's move on. This is the FMJ, I think it was called. Anyways, this is, of course, inspired real life. It's a mix and match between the Ferrari LaFerrari and the new Ford GT. Of course, dominantly looking like the Ford GT, the new one. Also, kind of looks like that Aston Martin, what was it called? The Vulcan at the front, but it's dominantly looking like the Ford GT, so I call it the Ford GT. Moving on, I have the T20, which it needs a color change. I forgot I made this with an experiment, but I forgot to change the color. I should do that later on. Anyways, this is the second car. Now, I love the relationship between the Osiris and the T20. See, when they released the Osiris here, it was the fastest supercar in the game. Best performance, what have you. Then, some days later, they released the T20, and just like that, the throne of the fastest car went to this, the T20, of course. And it's still, to this day, one of the best handling and performance supercars in the game, if not the best one. Moving on. Now, we have here, moving on. Now, here is the Ocelot Penetrator. Obviously, now this car, you don't even have to take a guess. This looks front to back like the Jaguar XJ220. This is a 1990s supercar made by Jaguar. It was one of, well, it is a very sought after car in real life, and I mean, it is amazing. Fast car, over 200 miles, easy when it was made, and well, a lot of people still love this car. It actually looked, the first ever car, Jaguar, I saw was in, well, a purple color, which is why I made this purple. And of course, I didn't change the stock wheels because, well, look at those things. Those are just, they scream 90s, but oh my god, they're so cool looking. I kind of wish they had, I could change the color of them, but, you know, you can't have everything. I'm pretty sure there's some kind of a glitch you can do in order to change the colors, but yeah, I'm not going to worry too much about it. Okay, so, third floor, 1C, and boom. First off, we have the Turismo R. Now, pretty sure this car is, actually, I don't know what this is inspired by. Okay, I think this car, well, it's obviously inspired by the Ferrari LaFerrari at the front, and well, obviously not at, well, it actually does look like it. Well, to me, this looks like the LaFerrari. Well, obviously changed a lot, but still, it does look a lot like this car, and well, I have seriously don't know what else, what other car this could look like real life. But yeah, I'm not gonna brood too much to it. Now, I just recently rebought this car. Why? Well, before this update, when we get these wonderful garages, I mean, I ran out of space, and I had to sell it because Osiris. But now that we have enough space, I just rebought it and repainted it in the same color that I had it when I first have it. Well, when I first bought this car. And I love this paint job on this car. It just looks like it belongs here. I mean, obviously, not everyone will agree, but to me, this is the color that this car should have. I might change the blue to a darker blue on the on the rooftop, which is the secondary color. But other than that, I really love this car. A lot of people underestimate this car, but it is one of, well, it is one of the better performing cars in GTA 5 Online. It drives really well. It just lacks in the speed department, but you know, with catching up and all that stuff, it could actually you know, make up for it. Anyways, moving on to the Jester, the Dinka Jester. This car just looks amazing. I love the look of this car. Now, I think it's inspired by the Honda NSX, the new one. Anyways, or the prototype, or I think it's about to be, oh yeah, it's already released today, but yeah, it is inspired by that car. It actually looks a lot like it, and I gotta say, this is just, well, the looks of this car are the sole reason I got this car. I've never actually driven it, which is a shame because it does perform well. I mean, I have driven it from the well, when I first from the workshop to the garage. But I gotta say, I'm loving the looks of this car. I just love how it looks, and I'm glad I don't have to sell it anymore. So moving on, we have this. This is a sports car, not a supercar, if I'm remembering correctly. It's the 770, anyways. It is inspired, obviously, by an Aston Martin, and kind of looks like the Ferrari at the front as well. But mostly, it reminds me of an Aston Martin, especially if you see it like, well, like so. It's not a bad driving car, but doesn't have much in the modifying department, and well, that's all this car actually has. The car next to it has a similar story. It's the Verlier, or Loser if you translate it, but this car actually is better than that one because, well, even though it does have a little more customization options, and well, this is the only car that a supercar that I actually like in a bright color like this. Well, obviously the yellow of my previous car that you saw, the Lambo, the Huracan looking one, is also bright, but this one actually looks a lot better in really bright color, as you can see from here. Well, again, this is my opinion, but you know, I like this color. Moving on, we have this. It's the what was it? The GTB, whatever it's called. This car, the GTS, the Bestia GTS, the Bestia GTS, I think it was called. Anyways, this car is obviously, well, you don't even have to think about it much. This car is obviously inspired by the Ferrari FF, which is the four-seater car that Ferrari released. It did have other four-seater cars, but this is the one that got the most attention out of them all. People seem to really love this car, and it's the first ever Ferrari to have a four-wheel drive system, which a lot of people seem to love. It wasn't a true four-wheel drive system. It was actually something Ferrari made. It was an original, so good for them. Anyways, let's move on to this thing. Oh boy, do I love this thing. The first ever, the Ines Windsor. The first ever car to come with its own wrap. This is, well, I think this is unique to this car. I mean, other cars, obviously, like the race car, have wraps that you can put them on, but those are racing wrappings, and this is just amazing. I call this one the Cheetah, the Golden Cheetah, obviously because of the color. Made it with gold and then brushed aluminum or brushed steel, whatever it was, on the top. Really like the color scheme, and I really like this car. I'm glad that I don't have to sell it again because now I have more than enough space. Moving on to the Ines Windsor, well, what is this called again? The Ines Windsor Drop. Now this is obviously, the Ines Windsor and the Drop are obviously inspired by the Rolls-Royce and Bentley cars in real life. The front is a Rolls-Royce and the back looks like a, well, Bentley more, so really like the car, never driven them, but really love how they look. Okay, well, this is for garage number 1. In the next video, I will show you the other garages that I have, and well, after I do this, and I actually remember all the cars that I own, I might actually, well, rearrange some of the vehicles, because currently I do have other sports vehicles that I want in this garage instead of the Ines and Ines Windsor, and I'll move those in the other way. Anyways, thank you for watching, thank you for joining me. If you did like the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Share if you like, and well, again, thank you for joining me, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.